各位同心，大家安安，大家好。今日咱的宜兰州的同心有来啊无？请恁举一个旗仔，互大家看一下，大家该欢迎。 台北的同心有来啊无？举旗仔，互大家看一下。新竹的同心有来啊无？举一个旗仔，互大家看一下。台中州的同心有来啊无？举一个旗仔，互大家看一下。 台南的同心有来啊无？来自最远的高雄州的同心有来啊无？非常的欢迎各位。咱今日。 有两个来自国外的好朋友，一个是 Mr. Neil Carr， 还有一个是来自美国司法单位 Mr. Scott Brock。 On behalf of Taiwan civil government, Julian and I would like to welcome you all to the Conference on Taiwan's Legal Status. 台湾民政府自从2006年以来，对台湾国际地位的追求非常的打拼。咱大家同心应该有感受得到，咱大家家己来鼓励咱大家好唔好？ We are honored to have Mr. Neil Carr and Mr. Scott Brock here as our guest speaker. 咱今日有两个来自美国的非常可贵的贵宾 ，Neil Carr 加这个 Scott Brock， 这两个来自美国，尤其是这个 Neil Carr 是咱台湾民政府的好朋友。 和咱来往已经6年啊！伊伫美国是一个真有名，而且职业28年的这个律师楼的工课，是华盛顿 DC 上界大的律师楼。伊的专长是会当来帮忙咱台湾，甚至咱的同心，你的公司伫美国就市，所以伊这边来。 和咱台湾民政府所有的同心，大家来见面；和咱所有的同心，大家来探讨，要怎让咱台湾的经济变得更较好。另外一位是大家拢已经伫网络上有看到，伊是 Mr. Scott Brock， 伊是非常的了不起，伊是捌互美国的总统提名，经过参议院、众议院。 会通过来任职最高检察署的副检察总长，而且嘛有经过，而且伊嘛是经过美国总统提名，和美国的参众议员来通过，而且任职5年的时间遮久，所以这边伊会当来甲咱讲几句话。 啊，伊嘛准备甲袂歹，啊，所以咱搁再一摆来甲伊邀请，即个叫做尼尔卡加 Mr. Scott Brock 两个上台。 咱来拜托这个尼尔卡来介绍 Scott Brook， 因为美国人介绍美国人较简单，咱将这个重大任务来交予 OK， Neil please。
I'd like to begin by thanking Roger and TCG for their kind invitation to Scott and I, and for all their efforts in organising this today's event. We're very grateful for your efforts and the hard work that's gone into making this event possible. This is my first visit to Taiwan, and I must say that I've had the opportunity to experience the great warmth of the people of this wonderful country. It's a country of great culture, innovation and beauty. We are here today to celebrate with you your efforts for a greater understanding of the history and ties between the US and Taiwan, with a particular focus on the history of the legal and political ties between the two countries. As you know, I'm a citizen of both Great Britain and the US, two great countries with long histories and historic ties that share, in addition to a common language, strong beliefs in the importance of individual rights and systems of government that protect and foster such rights as they have evolved over time. As you know, America fought a long and costly war to secure its independence from Great Britain, so I fully understand the importance of securing and protecting individual rights and the democratic system of government in which such rights are able to flourish and evolve. The issue that triggered the American Revolution and enabled a bustling economy to become a truly independent democratic country, and now a world power and sponsor and protector of democratic systems of government, are the important principles of constitutionalism, separation of power, and inherent liberty that people have to determine their own destinies. It's with great pleasure today that I'm introducing to you our speaker, Scott Bloch. Scott, I believe, has espoused and embodied these principles while working in private practice of law and while working in the government of the United States during the Bush administration from 2001 to 2008. During his tenure as the Special Counsel of the United States and head of the United States Office of Special Counsel, an independent federal investigative and prosecutorial agency of the U.S. federal government, Scott was the watchdog of activities of the executive branch of the U.S. government that includes the President and many departments of government, including the Departments of Defense, Transportation, Justice, State, among others. As the Special Counsel of the U.S., Scott brought efficiency, ethics, and legality to the executive branch. He will tell you about some of the actions that he brought, but suffice it to say, he took to task special interests and powerful people in government who were at the very top of the administration. Through his oversight of aviation safety, illegal political activity in the federal government, and service member rights, Scott sought to bring integrity and transparency to government so that it could function for the benefit of all American people, not just those in power. Scott is now in the private practice of law in Washington, D.C., where he specializes in issues of integrity in government contracting, complex litigation, service member and contractor rights, and class actions involving matters of public interest, and thereby continues to advocate for and seek to protect the rights of the individual. He has taught at law schools and speaks of law and public service. He has appeared in the national media, including the Wall Street Journal, Washington Post, Washington Times, New York Times, Newsweek, Los Angeles Times, NPR, CNN, and NBC, and on international media on CCTV, Art TV, and Polish public television on issues relating to the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, as well as the legal aspects of the new U.S. health law called Obamacare. Scott and I have co-counseled on a few matters over the last few years, and I would say that he's one of the most effective, erudite, and insightful lawyers that I have had the opportunity to work with during my career. It's also a true privilege to be able to call him a friend. In addition to being an accomplished lawyer, Scott is the author of a book entitled The Essential Belloc, A Prophet for Our Times, a collection of writings and sayings of Hilaire Belloc, a famous Anglo-French historian and statesman and one of the most prolific and highly regarded authors, poets, and essayists of the early 20th century. It's interesting to note that following Belloc's death in 1953, Monsignor Ronald Knox observed of Hilaire Belloc, "No man of his time fought so hard for the good things." I believe that this to be a guiding principle for my colleague Scott Bloch. I would like to introduce to you the Honorable Scott J. Bloch, esteemed lawyer, academic, and author, who will speak to you today on Taiwan civil government, a political purgatory. Thank you.